Supposedly grown, supposedly grown, supposedly grown, supposedly grown. Supposedly grown.
You get a notification, right, when I start recording?
It'll say on my screen that it's recording the call.
Okay. That'd be kind of weird if you didn't. You could just record all my calls without anyone knowing.
Okay, creeper.
I'm just saying, like, it's probably a good thing that you're notified that someone's
Have
recording your
you
phone call.
seen The Pharmacist on Netflix?
I haven't seen The Pharmacist.
He recorded all his calls, and like, no, people wouldn't know. And I'd ask, like, "Are you recording this call?" And he'd be like, "No, no." Yes.
I did watch, was it the one with the little kid and his parents?
I'm about
The
to get done with this.
yeah, it's pretty good. It's
It's gonna
an
make
interesting documentary. Did you ever get to watch the Aaron Hernandez documentary?
no. I just been hearing mixed things about it, so
I know I've heard that one of the people that claimed to be like his lover in high school, apparently that's not true. They weren't even.
Yeah, that's what kind of made me not want to watch it. Like, they were just posting all this stuff about how untrue that was.
Yeah, but I mean, aside from that, there's still some pretty interesting information in it. It's pretty interesting. Like it keeps your interest. It's not really a dull moment, and you get to hear like some of his phone calls, and you kind of get to know him like as a person, and kind of like realize that he was a little crazy. Like he legitimately thought he was going to get out and have a regular life.
Seriously?
It's pretty wild. Yeah. Just based off the phone calls, you can kind of tell like he's planning on doing stuff, and I don't know, it's weird. Like it never hit him that he was actually probably going to spend the rest of his life in prison.
I mean, you murdered someone, kid. What do you expect?
Well, he murdered like 3 people apparently.
Jeez.
Yeah. So he got convicted of the one guy, but then I guess he didn't get convicted of the other 2 guys. So he got off with murdering 2. The third one they got him. It's a good life lesson. If you're gonna murder, just murder 2. Stay away from the third.
Don't get greedy. It's what always gets you.
Yeah. Once you think you can get away with it, that's when they get you.
Yeah.
But I think documentaries have become my kind of go-to now. Like I'd rather watch a documentary over most TV shows if it's a good.
I love a documentary for sure.
I've seen some pretty weird ones, especially on Netflix. You couldn't have.
I think y'all have HBO.
Not anymore.
Oh man, because there's this really good on HBO called "I Love You Now Die." So good. About that girl who convinced her boyfriend to kill himself.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
So
like
good.
they were trying to convict her, right? Like they were trying to.
I think they did.
Did they?
Or was it still ongoing? I'm not sure, but yeah, they were trying to convict her like manslaughter or something.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Which I think, like, rightfully so.
I mean, yeah, she obviously contributed to it, right? Like, if it wasn't for her, the dude probably would have been okay.
He was definitely a little suicidal, but I think I think he probably wouldn't have gone through with it if she wasn't so persistent.
It's crazy. There's one documentary. I don't know. I think it was on Netflix. It was pretty crazy. This guy kind of meets up with his family, and they're really big into. I think it's a Lutheran church or some kind of crazy church. And he like gets really deep into this family, and he starts messing with the young daughter. The daughter's like 8 or 9 or something like that.
What?
Well, so while he's doing that, he's also convinced the wife to sleep with him, and he's convinced the dad to give him a hand job in the truck as they're taking a ride down the street. So,
I understand about it's the kidnapping or something, kidnapped in plain sight or something.
yeah, abducted in plain sight.
Yeah.
Craziest,
Okay.
craziest story I've ever fucking
Like
heard.
ever. Like what? Literally watching my
Like,
mouth open the whole time, jaw dropped.
yeah, like that has to be some white people shit. Like, 'cause that shit wouldn't roll in a Hispanic family.
Who's gonna let a strange man be like, "Oh, I want to sleep with your daughter tonight"? Okay, yeah, she's
Yeah,
downstairs.
that was the crazy thing too. Is right, he convinced him that that was part of his treatment. That I've got to sleep next to your underage daughter, so I won't be a pedophile anymore. Like that's the treatment plan your doctor came up with.
Come
And
on now.
the fact that the parents are just okay with that, I don't know, man. That's sketchy. But
Yeah, like get
that's,
out of here.
that's probably the craziest documentary I've ever seen. And,
Yeah, that was a little ridiculous.
yeah, it was crazy. And then I remember watching, I think it was a mockumentary, one of those documentaries that are meant to be fake. The Fire, what was it? The one about the music festival?
Oh, what do you mean fake? I thought that was real.
Was it real? I don't think it was real, was it?
The whole situation with the Fire Fest?
But the documentary, was a documentary real?
Oh, I didn't see the documentary. But I think there's multiple.
There's like two. There was one on Hulu and then one on Netflix.
And the one on Netflix you're saying was not really.
I don't know. It was pretty crazy. It was a funny documentary. Like at one point, they were trying to get water into the music festival, and the guy had to the main guy running it told the coordinator that he had to go give the the president of the island or whatever. He had to go give the president a hand job so they can get water into the music festival.
What?
So I'm not sure if it was real or not, but it was pretty interesting. But I do love a good crazy documentary. That's what I spend most of my time doing. But aside from that, I've had some pretty interesting happenings over the past couple of weeks.
Let's hear it.
One in particular was pretty eye-opening and funny. So me trying to be a good parent, I volunteered for the second season in a row to be a soccer coach. Last year I did it, and I did it kind of late, so I wasn't able to draft my own team of 3-year-olds, but I was able to get in early and pick my team along with the other coaches. So it's pretty interesting because going in, the only information we have on the kids is their first and last name, how old they are, and that's it, right? Like, so we're kind of just basing it off of names and age. And then I guess some of the kids, they get their preference on what coach they want to be with and stuff like that. Like if they know a coach, they can stick with that coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was one coach, he already had his team completely filled by the time the draft happened. So he didn't have any picks. But I did notice something pretty interesting, which is pretty funny to me. So I think I may have been the only Hispanic guy coaching, which I would probably assume that most of these guys probably think that I actually know something about soccer, and they'd be mistaken because I don't know anything. I can barely dribble a ball. But I did notice that as the picks were going on, the first kids taken off the board, they all had one thing in common. They all shared Latin descent. They all having last names like Ramirez or Sanchez or Diaz and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty funny. I think it kind of plays into the role that, most people think that Hispanics are into soccer and that their kids are probably going to be into soccer. I thought that was pretty funny.
It's so true, though. Not that Hispanics are into soccer, but that people think that. Because, like I said, when I played soccer and you see a team full of, like, Hispanic people, you're like, oh, my gosh, they're about to fucking crush shit. We're about to lose. And oftentimes, that's not the case. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know why people think that.
It was pretty obvious because, like I said, those were so going through the draft. All the Hispanics were taken off pretty early. Then we had fucking weird kids. We had Caucasian kids named Asher and Blazer and Laser and stuff like that. So it was pretty interesting to see how different names. You could identify different names with different races and stuff. That was pretty funny. But there was one coach in particular that kind of caught my eye, and I don't know if this is a normal thing or if this is just based off of this one league. But this dude was all about his draft. Like he wanted to win, which is crazy because at 3 years old we don't keep score. So
you're not gonna get much action out of those games anyway.
Like coaching last year, it showed me something. At 3 years old, I'm lucky to have enough kids to fill the field at one time.
Yeah.
So, but this dude was all about it. Like it was funny. So it was kind of a snake draft, right? Like you go through, and then the last one gets first pick, and then you go backwards. So like we went through the first time, he was fine. But by the time the last person got a second pick, I guess he picked someone that guy wanted. Because as the pick was named, he was like, motherfucker, that's who I wanted. And he was pretty serious about it. And so I looked at him, and I kind of just laughed. I don't think anybody else either paid attention or noticed it, but I was like, man, this dude is serious, and he wants a winning team. But, like, I don't know if these coaches know these kids, because I had no idea. I'm not going to lie, I kind of joined in on the Hispanic first couple of picks, and then
you went wrong. You should have got the white ones.
I got a couple of white Caucasian kids, so I'm hoping that these are kids. But I'll also say this is a city league, so I don't think anybody in this league is going to be too serious about soccer. Like, I don't expect to see a prodigy out here or anything like that.
Well, there are 3. I don't think.
I don't know. Last year there's some pretty interesting things. Like I had one girl that was I don't know if it was just because she was older, but she was a lot more coordinated and she was actually able to dribble the ball really well and score and kind of do everything. But like she was so good to the point that she got bored and she would just walk off the field and go sit down and like eat a donut at points.
Dang.
And there's a kid we played against. This kid looked like he was 9 years old. He was just pushing everybody around, and he was like at least a half a foot taller than every other kid on every other team.
When I coached, they were 4-year-olds. I had definitely had little girls that were. You could tell like maybe they were older or something, but they were taller and they could dribble and they could do all that. And then you had the ones that were like, you poor baby.
Yeah, I'm thinking my daughter's gonna be more of the second type.
Soccer's just not her sport.
I don't think any sport is gonna be her sport. She's not into it, and I'm okay with that. Because last year, like, first game was cool. She was into it, and then it kind of just all went downhill after that. Like it was a struggle to just keep her on the field. But it doesn't help that games are like at 8, 7, 30, 8.
Yeah. I know, so early.
She's not a morning person, and neither are her parents. And now it's going to be even worse with another baby that we got to lug around.
Mhm.
But I'll say this: this kid likes mornings. Like he's real talkative and loud in the morning. It's kind of annoying when you're trying to sleep and he's talking. But it's something.
That's good. Wish I was a morning person.
You say that, but you don't have a 4-month-old talking right next to your head.
That I wish I was a morning person.
Oh, it's not cool that my baby's a morning person because he keeps us up.
No, you said you think he's a morning person. I'm like, that's good. I want to be more like him when I grow up. I want to be a morning person.
Not me. I don't think I'm a morning person.
I know I'm not. I fucking hate the mornings.
If I can, I like sleeping in, taking naps. I'm not into waking up early.
I love me a good nap.
I think that has to do with shift work. I think shift work kind of makes me take naps whenever I can.
That's true. I think I'm always tired because of that. Like I can sleep whenever and wherever. I don't care.
Yeah,
Like no amount of sleep is enough either.
always tired, huh?
Yep.
I'm always getting yelled at by your friend over here because I'm constantly falling asleep. Yelling at me to wake up, make sure I don't drop the baby.
I don't think I'm not that bad. It just gets miserable all the time though, trying to stay, especially like that night, the day after you get off of nights. Ugh, that's the worst.
So when you get off nights, do you try to stay up or do you just go to sleep and wake up early?
I go to sleep for maybe like 3-4 hours.
So I feel like if I go to sleep for only 3 or 4 hours, that's just gonna make me grumpier. And I'm gonna end up sleeping anyway.
I tried to stay up before, and like physically, I was sick. Like I couldn't do it. It was miserable.
Seriously?
Like my stomach hurt. I was just so tired. I was like drunk.
It's horrible. I don't know. I've done so. If I go to sleep after being on nights, I'm not gonna wake up unless I get woken up until like 12, 1 o'clock. So I've tried staying up also, but I usually don't make it past 4 o'clock in the afternoon the next
Exactly.
day. So
you take like an awkward time nap, so then that just messes you up.
yeah, it's pretty bad.
At 12, like I wake up at like 11 or 12, and then you're tired, but then you can still go to bed like at a normal time that night.
But you also get off at 7, right? Like y'all are 7 to 7.
No, I do 6 to 6.
6 to 6. Okay, so that's not too much different. We do 5 to 5.
Oh, okay.
But it's not too much of a difference. Yeah. I don't know. I've been doing shift work, I guess, for 9 years, something like that, and I still don't know how to do it right. Still trying to figure it out.
It's stupid. That's what it is.
It's not the greatest, but it's a job, so I can't really complain too much.
That pays well.
It pays better than most other things I've done.
It's the worst job.
What was that?
The worst job you've had.
The worst job I've had? Honestly, I think it was... So, worst paying job I had was the military. Worst job I've had, though, was probably my first job. I fried chicken. Fried chicken. So now I try to stay away from fried chicken. I did that. I guess I was 15 or 16, and I did that pretty much throughout high school, on and off. It was pretty bad. Like, it just made me hate chicken, and obviously I was always greasy and smelled like fried chicken, so it was horrible. I didn't enjoy it very much.
Yeah, that
But
would definitely make me hate fried chicken too.
oh yeah, it was pretty bad. But like I said, my worst paying job, based off of like just hours worked and amount paid, was the military. It was pretty bad. I like just because like you're obviously not paid by the hour. You're just paid a certain amount, no matter how much you work. And they worked us ragged. Um, and it didn't help that it was in Montana either. So
Ew, I didn't know you were in Montana.
yeah, I was in the great state of Montana. And coming from Texas, that sucked because in Texas you have summer like 8 months out of the year, and then
Yeah.
2 months of winter, and then a month of just shitty weather. So in Montana, it was pretty opposite. Like there's like 5 months of straight up winter,
Oh
a month
no.
summer. Like you had legitimate seasons, I guess. But like the crazy thing is like the first day I went, first day I get off the plane, and I have clothes indicative of me living in Texas, and it was like 60 degrees, and I'm dressed like it's fucking a normal month in Texas, so I wasn't prepared at all. And like the second day I was there, it had already snowed, and it was horrible. I didn't have a vehicle, so I had to walk everywhere. I didn't really have clothes that would keep me warm, and I didn't know anything about Montana or any people there or anything like that. So it was pretty bad. And then so pretty much we were security guards. We would go to sites with like maintenance people and sit around while they did their work. And then sometimes when security systems went down, we'd have to stay out there in campers for a couple of days at a time until they got it fixed. So I had to do that a couple of times, and that always happens in the winter. That never happens in the 1 month of summer. Like you would have to take bottles of propane to turn on heaters and stuff, and you'd have to take a bunch of food. So it was pretty bad. But that was probably my worst paying job. It was pretty bad. How about you, ma'am? What was your worst job?
Okay, not really the worst. The worst thing I had to do at a job. I used to work. My first job was HEB, and that wasn't bad. But I worked at a little HEB, so I had to push carts and clean the bathrooms and do all that stupid stuff. And that was like the worst. Girls' bathrooms are so gross. Guys' bathrooms feel like just permanently smell like pee. Oh my gosh, I was so happy when I went to bigger, or when I got promoted to a cashier and I did it again. Oh my goodness. And reffing soccer sucked. I hated it. Oh, I hated it. That didn't last long.
Why was reffing soccer so bad?
Because you're running up and down the field with the people and you have like a split second to make a decision. And of course, half the field, yeah, that was a good one. The other half is like, oh, what the fuck are you lying? And it's like, there's no winning. You can't take a decision back in soccer. It is. It's just like, it's so much going on. Oh my goodness. Like, I guess that would be my first job because I was young. I mean, the money was cool because I wasn't making money anywhere else, but it was miserable. I would just get so upset. So that did not last long at all. I don't know. Like, shout out to all those refs out there because y'all are the true MVPs. That shit's hard.
What age were you reffing?
I was probably 14 and 15. because it was before I could get a real job. And once I get a real job, I was like, I'm out. I can't.
No, like what age? What age were the players?
Oh. They were probably like 10, 10, 11. And then I would do the sideline ref for any age because that doesn't matter. But when I was a center ref, they were probably like 10 or 11.
I would assume you're getting bombarded by parents saying you were making bad calls all the time.
I mean, some of my calls were pretty shit because, like I said, you have a split second to make a decision. You don't, and girls.
So you admit that your calls
guys
were
are
shitty.
different. Huh?
You admit your calls were shitty then?
Somewhere because I'm like, ooh, was that a foul? I don't know. Because, and like I said, are different guys. You just push one a little bitty bit, the other guy is going to be falling all over the floor. Girls aren't like that, and so you can't. And some, if it's going back and forth, you just let it go because they're playing rough. It's what you do. And then it's like, where do you draw the line? Are they offsides? I don't know.
Is it just one ref on the field?
It depends on what age you have. When they're younger, it is just a center ref. And then as older you have the center ref and you have the 2 sideline refs who can also make calls. Not like you can, but they can like wave their flag and stuff. But for the most part, it's on you, boo. And it's awful. It's just too much pressure.
I know we don't have any refs for 3 and 4-year-olds.
Well, you also don't even use your hand. Like, that's not real soccer.
What?
It's cute, but the rules are a little different.
I'll say this. I'm tempted to get a 6-year-old to dress up and be on my team. That way I know I win every game.
When I coach, like I was saying, there's this one girl. She had a sister. They were the same age, looked completely different. This other little girl was huge and was just cleaning the floor with these other kids. And I'm like, I know dang well not the same age as these other girls.
Couldn't be possible. Like I said, I know there's no way. Like this kid, unless they had him on HGH from the age of 2, there's no way this kid was like 3 years old. Because this dude was big.
It is not little kid soccer. Come on.
I could have sworn that I seen some 5 o'clock shadow on him. They was that big. Crazy thing that happened last season too was I took a kid out with my head at one point. I headbutted a kid and
oh my goodness.
Made him cry pretty good. I'll say it was an accident. Whether it was or wasn't will always be in my head though. I'll tell you this though, the kid didn't score another goal after that.
Oh my goodness. I'll for that.
But I think soccer season is going to be interesting. And now that my wife's not pregnant, she can also coach, so I won't have to deal with her on the sideline yelling at me about my coaching style.
So why don't you go up there and do
it? Exactly. I'll tell her I'll take care of the baby. You go figure out what these kids need to hear because I tried, but I'll admit that I wasn't a very good coach. I don't think any kid came out better than what they were.
So when did you sign up to do it again?
I don't know, man. I really don't know. I guess I just want to be that dad that coaches their kids. But I wish it was more of a sport that I actually knew something about because soccer is not my thing. But I guess, like,
if I had kids and they played sports, I don't think I'd want to coach because I just want to focus on my kid, you know? I want to talk shit about the other kids who aren't as good as my kid. And I want to have drink in my cup. And that's what I want to do. I don't think I want to be a coach. I want to just be like, your kid sucks. My kid's a superstar. So, and yes, I may not be sober right now. I want to be that mom. Now,
I'm
the dad
surprised.
coach, he can do what he wants to do. I don't care. I'm not coaching. We'll work on the weekends and stuff, especially my kid likes soccer. We're getting it on the week, But as far as game day, nah, I'm not coaching.
That's your relaxation day, huh? I guess.
I'm laser focused on my kid. My kid doing what my kid has to do, and me telling this lady her kid needs to get his shit together, making my kid look bad.
I'll say this now that my wife's not pregnant or breastfeeding, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point she gets kicked off the field for being drunk or intoxicated. She likes to party sometimes.
Not them 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock games. She might take a butt to AA.
You never know, man. It might be a good night before that you just keep going.
Just a little binger.
And all-nighters. I don't think we're capable of those though. We like our sleep.
Yeah, that's a bit much. If I'm like, wait, you trying to be out past 10? Hold up.
Oh, that was another thing that happened too, right? Y'all had a girls' night. How did that go?
It was fun. I think it ended fun. The middle part's kind of like, man. I think, maybe we chose the wrong thing to do. We went to eat. That was fun. Whatever, waitress talked shit about me being single. And then we went dancing, but I think it's kind of hard for a group of girls to go dancing, like country dancing. So we stayed there for a while, and then we ended up at some little sports bar and that was pretty cool. They had like big games, and they had like TVs everywhere, and it was just like a cool little vibe. That place was really cool. So we had fun there, and we closed that place down. Came home and ate y'all leftover food from the fight. And,
yeah, I know. When y'all came in the house, y'all scared the shit out of me because I was sleeping in my bed, and my door opens, and my wife comes in and asks me where my cheese is. So that was a little scary. Yeah, I know, because I was looking forward to eating that cheese the next day, and it was gone.
Oh yeah, it was so freaking good.
I don't think it actually was that good. I think y'all were just hungry as shit.
A little drunky drunk.
Yeah, that might explain why that cheese went down so well. But with y'all going out, it actually started a conversation between me and the other person that is normally on these recordings. We started talking about the difference between girls going out in the group and guys going out in the group. Like it's pretty funny. It was a pretty interesting conversation. So like when girls go out in the group, at least with y'all, it seemed like y'all had issues actually planning on where y'all were going out. Like y'all didn't figure out what y'all were doing until the last minute.
I think it's because within our group, there's a few different personalities. There's half more laid back, let's go with the flow, we're down for anything. And the other half's a little more classy and care where we go and don't want to do certain things. And so it's kind of hard to cater to everybody. So we knew for sure, all right, we're going to get something to eat. And then after, like, what kind of place do we want to go to? And I think that's what it's kind of difficult because you want everybody to enjoy themselves.
And then y'all went to a pretty fancy little steakhouse to start off the night.
I feel like Sawgrass is not that fancy.
That's a place you can't go in cargo shorts, right?
No, you can go whatever you want. I don't think they care.
Oh, really?
It ain't that. It's not. No. It's not no White Claw.
Okay. But I feel like, all right. So whenever like we go out as a group of guys, we'll just go to like a wing place or a Mexican place, and the main thing isn't really eating. It's kind of just like let's get some drinks in before we go get some more drinks. Like
let's go drink before we drink.
Yeah. Let's go pregame drink before we drink. And then we don't. I guess we don't go out because it'd be weird, right? If a bunch of guys go out to go dance together, that like we'd get looks, you know.
I don't know. I saw it. So
Like we'll be on the dance floor doing a two-step together, and especially in the country bar, we might get some looks from some MAGA hat wearers and stuff like that. So we usually don't go out to bars, or we don't usually go out to clubs or anything like that. Like we'll go to Top Golf or places like that, or we'll go watch a fight. So it seems like it's easier for guys to plan a night out. Like we've got something planned for next weekend that should be pretty fun, and it came together pretty easily. We'll be going to a Houston Roughnecks game, so that should be fun.
oh, I actually have a friend that plays.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's the rugby team, right?
Nope, not the rugby team, ma'am.
The XL football team.
Yeah, the XFL football team.
What is it called? XLD or something?
XFL.
Oh, XFL. Where did I get the D from? Oh, that'll be fun.
It'll be hopefully fun. We'll see. We got some pretty decent.
I mean, people talk about like the league on Facebook, and it's getting some good. People say they like it.
Yeah, definitely gaining popularity. It seems like it's held its popularity. Like, I guess Houston's pretty good. They haven't lost a game yet, so it should be fun to watch. And like I said, it was pretty easy once we figured out what we wanted to do. But there's another thing too. Is like, I guess all the guys, we've been friends for a pretty long time, so you know, we've kind of
interest.
together. Yeah. And so all the girls
just posted in our little girl group like a little, like those little classes where you make a sign or something. It was a wreath, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, let's do it." And then we saw the price, and we're like, "Oh no, I'm out." So that was easy. Like we would have been totally down for that. Some drinks after.
You would have been down if the price is right, though.
I'm not paying $65 for a sunflower. Got me messed up.
Yeah, that seems weird, right? Like you're paying $65, and you're taking but you take your own alcohol too, right?
Yeah, so I'm paying $65. Like I'll buy my own supplies too. Let's not play dang well.
You're paying $65 pretty much for some paint and a canvas.
Yeah, or I don't know what this was made out of. I didn't even, after I saw the price, I was uninterested. But things like that, we can all agree on. It's just, I guess, the nightlife situation. Like what kind of place? Because we'll go to Reno's.
Yeah, definitely.
Not everybody likes Reno's because it's a little sketchy. Understandable.
Oh yeah, it's more than a little sketchy. We actually went a couple of weeks ago, and it's just downright dirty. Because you leave that place and you smell like you've been smoking a pack a day for 30 years. Like your
hair is awful. That's definitely, as a Black woman, I don't wash my hair every day, but that's somewhere I'm definitely watching it the next day. No ifs, ands, or but. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. Why don't girls wash their hair every day?
Okay, as in general, you shouldn't even shower every day. It's just not.
Oh man, what?
You dry out your skin, and it's just not. I'm not saying I shower pretty much every day. I work out every day. I shower every day. I go to work, so I'm not working out, so I'm not taking a shower. But yeah, it's not even that good for you to shower every day. You dry out your hair, you dry out your skin, and so you shouldn't really even wash your hair every day as a person. Dry it out. And white people, or I guess non-Black people, your hair makes oil, and so your hair will become more oily because you're drying it out, so your body's making more oil. But as a Black person, our hair does not make oil, but we don't wash it every day because our hair is so dry already. I'm washing out the oils I'm putting in it, so I need to keep it moist. And it's a fucking hassle because my hair is nappy. And that's another thing. Like, you probably shouldn't even comb it every day just because you're just pulling it out.
So
It's a thing. And so I knew this girl, she had super oily hair, blah, blah. She was like, she straight up just didn't wash her hair for a week. She just suffered through it. And then now she washes her hair once a week with like sulfate-free shampoo. And she's like, it's not oily. I'm like, yeah, because your body's not overcompensating for the lack of oil.
I've never got that because my wife says the same thing. She doesn't wash her hair every day, and
it's not necessary. If you're not sweating, it's really not necessary.
I feel like I sweat all the time. Even when I get out of the shower, I usually sweat a little bit. So it's kind of a struggle.
How people get out of the shower and then like put clothes on right after that? How do you do that? Because I'm like, I'm hot. I need to go outside and cool down for like at least 5 minutes.
I've got small kids, so I can't just walk around letting my body air out. Because then I might get CPS called on me. So I've got to clothe myself. Especially because it's a little girl. I don't need those questions yet. But that's a good thing to know. So once I grow out my mullet, I'll stop washing it. That way, it'll be beautiful and bouncy.
Oh goodness.
You know what? Another thing we did from the last time is we actually got some gym equipment for our garage. We're trying to get a home gym thing going on.
Yeah. You got a treadmill action?
There's a treadmill that I'm too big for and can't use, but my wife can, so that's all her.
Too big treadmill.
There's a weight limit, and I exceed that weight limit, so I can't run on it. I've tried. So what happens is when my big ass takes a step, I take pretty heavy steps too, so that probably doesn't help. But like the treadmill kind of skips, scares the shit out of me. I'm afraid I'm gonna fall off, so I've decided that I'm not gonna use it anymore.
That's hilarious.
But there is some weights. So I've got a squat rack, a bar. I've got about 200 pounds of Olympic weights. I got some dumbbells.
You got the bumper plates?
What's that?
You got bumper plates?
No, I don't have the bumper plates. I just got the actual metal plates.
Oh man, you need some bumper plates so we can go in there and throw down.
No, man, I'm not trying to throw weights around. Like, I'm sticking with the basics of, like, bench, squats, maybe some deadlifts every once in a while. But I think I am eventually going to put in some mats on my floor. That way I don't fuck up my concrete.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get some. I've been told that horse mats they use in horse stalls are good to use and cheaper than.
Yeah, at my gym they can other mats from the feed store.
Yeah. So I'm gonna probably get a bunch of those. But I guess the hope is that now I don't have the excuse of not having time to work out. Since I have it here at home, I should be able to actually do it.
Yeah, literally just walk out the door.
But we've done it before, and it didn't work out too well. I ended up selling all my stuff just to make room in my garage for toy cars and horses that my daughter doesn't ride anymore. So we'll see how this goes.
Stick to it.
I also did a week of the carnivore diet, so that was pretty interesting.
Also heard about that.
Yeah. So the diet was pretty good. I mean,
so you're not
doing
it
anymore? No. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not good with diets. So it lasted about 5 days, which is better than I thought it would.
So then, is it worth it to do that if you're gonna not be on a diet?
I think it is it worth it to get all the weights and stuff?
No, I'm saying like, why do that diet for 5 days if it's not something you're gonna stick to? Like, is that worth it to you?
No. So I thought I was gonna stick to it. Like it's not like I was like, oh, I'm not gonna stick to it. No, my intention was to stick to it, but then I realized that I'm not really much of a meat eater, so the diet didn't really vibe with me. So like the whole thing carnivore diet is you eat a bunch of food products that come from animals. Like it's just animal based products. So meat, cheese, eggs, stuff like that. And
that just sounds awful. I bet your farts stink.
I would assume so. I didn't smell them. It was so I did drop weight. I dropped probably about 8 or 9 pounds within those 5 days. So that was pretty cool. But I just got super tired of meat. Like I don't eat steak very much anyway. Like that's not something that I normally eat. Like I may have a steak a year, maybe. So like doing the diet, I didn't really realize that until I started eating steak every day. And then the eggs, like I tried staying away from cheese and stuff just because it says, cheese is kind of on the borderline of stuff you're supposed to eat or you're not supposed to eat. I tried to stay away from cheese. So I was just eating plain ass eggs, and I realized that I don't like plain ass eggs very much. They're bland. They got a weird texture. They're not very appetizing. So,
no, I'm not an egg person either. Ugh.
I think it just made me realize that I don't really eat a whole lot of animal products. Like I'll eat ground beef, but plain ground beef is not that good either. Like
no, that's disgusting.
But I guess the whole point of a diet, right, is not to taste good food. It's to eat.
No, fuck that. Like I used to think that, and then I started going into my macros this last time with a whole different mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like that's changed everything for me. And that's kind of how I've lost so much this go around. Cause I've done like paleo, I've done Whole30, I've done all this stuff. And you do it for a certain amount of days and you lose weight, but then you're not eating certain stuff. And so all you think is like, oh my gosh, I miss hamburgers, I miss pizza. And that's literally, it consumes you. So then your 30 days is up, or you have a cheat day and it's so fucking good. You overeat, you kill everything. You cheat for like 2 months because food is fucking delicious. And I love it. And alcohol is delicious. And I love it. And so like it didn't work for me. It doesn't work. I don't think for anybody really. So then this time I count macros. I eat whatever the fuck I want. I just plug it in my macros and then it doesn't even matter. And I eat Rice Krispie treats every fucking day because I can't live without them, or almost every day. And
Rice Krispie treats, huh?
Oh, the birthday cake one? Oh my gosh!
I've heard about your indulgences too. Like you got my wife out here looking for pretzel Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. Y'all ever find them? I need those. Doesn't that sound like sweet and salty? Put that bitch in the toaster and it'll be crunchy. Ugh.
See, y'all are into some nasty shit. Like, if I'm indulging in some shit, I just want...
Y'all. Don't say y'all, because your wife is straight up nasty.
Oh, yeah, she's into some weird shit. Especially when she's pregnant. When she was pregnant, she was into super weird stuff. But me, see, I want to find something that they've perfected that's just plain. Like me, I'm going Bluebell Dutch chocolate, Bluebell vanilla, maybe cookies and cream every once in a while. Like I'm going for something that is just amazing and like the best at what it is, but it's not trying to mix a whole bunch of shit into it either.
What? Best Bluebell ice cream flavor is... Can't go wrong with the classic. I'll get down some cookies and cream. But the bride's cake, oh man.
See, I don't need all that extra shit in my ice cream. Like I just want... Like I don't think I have that crazy flavor profile either. Like I don't... My taste isn't good enough to notice all the nuances of different flavors and shit. I just need some good ass chocolate. some good ass vanilla. You know, I don't need all this shit.
Oh, vanilla ass.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's me to a T. I'm a average ass vanilla person. Like I'm just trying to stay status quo. You know, I'm not trying to exceed expectations or anything like that.
I'm trying to have all the goodness.
No, man. But that's another thing too. Is like with his diet is so. I had a cheat day, but then the cheat day leaked into the next day, and then the next day, and now it's today, and I had Whataburger. So obviously, my cheat day turned into three days long. But I'm kind of hoping that I eat a little better during the week, and I actually work out 5-6 days a week and make up for that.
But then you have to ask yourself, did you lose weight because you were only eating meat, or did you lose weight because you stopped eating all that junk?
I think it was actually more of a caloric deficit, because I wasn't eating very much. Like I would just eat two meals a day, and typically the first meal would be maybe 3 or 4 eggs with like a 4-ounce steak, a 4-ounce fatty steak, and I'd eat that for lunch, probably around 11, 12, 2 o'clock, somewhere around there. And then I'd eat one more time, and I'd eat like hamburger meat with some butter, maybe a little bit of sour cream, stuff like that. So I just wasn't taking in a lot of calories. And I was working out, so I was burning more calories than I was actually taking in. So that's kind of the reason I think I lost the weight, more than just eating straight up meat.
No, that's 100% of the reason why you're losing weight. It doesn't matter what you eat. You just need to be in a caloric deficit. That's literally all you need. My ass fucking eats ice cream, and I still, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think that's the simplest way to put it, right? Is like as long as you.
At the end of the day, if you're in a deficit, you are gonna lose weight.
Yeah. And I have tried to start drinking more water. It's still a struggle at home, but at work I'm drinking a lot of water, so that's good.
Yeah, that's tough for me at home. I have to use like big water bottles and make sure I drink. I'm sitting right by mine and I'm looking at it like, come on, you're almost there. I put some wine in my macros. I need to finish this bottle before I can pour my wine.
That's one thing is I don't take in, like, aside from the get-togethers we have every once in a while. Like I don't really take in alcohol aside from that. Like I don't.
I've chilled out a lot too, because that is something that was getting me. I found is I could eat fine, blah blah blah, but I'll drink a whole bottle of wine. So what are you doing? And I would do that, as is to say, often. And so I was like killing myself with the wine. So now, just every now and then, I'll drink some.
Like wine, shitty, so. Wine's super high in sugar, right?
Well, I mean, a 5-ounce glass of a drier wine, not like the super sweet Moscatos, is the same as an ounce shot of liquor.
Oh, that's not bad.
Huh?
That's not bad then.
No, but who's just drinking 1 5-ounce pours? That's the bad part.
I don't know. I've never gotten into wine. Wine always tasted like shit to me.
Oh yeah, it's definitely has to grow on you.
I guess I've never taken the time to drink it more than twice, so I haven't gotten used to it. And I don't suppose I will. It's not my thing.
It's an acquired taste.
I'm gonna stick with my whiskeys and just drink that.
You do you. Whiskey and I are not on the best of terms.
No, I'd rather have whiskey than most other liquors. Like,
if I'm taking a shot of something, it's gonna be tequila. I feel like that tastes the best to me. I'm a tequila person.
Like, I don't know if any liquor really has a very good taste, but I'd rather taste whiskey than probably anything else. Like I feel like whiskey doesn't burn me as much as tequila. or vodka or something like that.
Ew, vodka's all the way last. Vodka's that's not my favorite.
Yeah. But I'm not going around taking a bunch of shots either, so I don't got to worry about that. I'm a married man with 2 kids, so my nights of going out are probably 18 years away.
Excuses.
Yeah, I'm an old man.
Okay, I think we should stop because I have to use the bathroom super bad. So.
Supposedly grown, supposedly grown, supposedly grown, supposedly grown. Supposedly grown.